Today's lesson is writers continue developing their narrative by rereading and confirming. There is an exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. Essentially, you're rereading your narrative and confirming that the plot structure exists, that you have your exposition, that you introduced your character. We know what your character hopes to achieve. What's the problem? Where does this take place? The rising action, what is the character doing to solve the problem? The climax, what is the turning point leading to a solution? Finally, the falling action and resolution, the events leading to the conclusion, and the lesson learned. So I'm going to give you an example of how I do this with my text. And I have this blank document. Oops. I have this blank document so that I can fill in plot structure as I read. I was in college when I realized my morning routine was troublesome. I lived in a small apartment with my college roommate, Katie. Because our apartment was microscopic, my chronic snooze button habit drove her bonkers. If my alarm buzzed, beeped, or screeched, she would hear it. Unfortunately, lifelong habits are hard to break. Growing up, my brother always hit the snooze button numerous times, and I did too. Our parents were our alarm clocks. My brother's room was downstairs, and my dad made numerous trips up and down the steps to wake him every morning. "David, time to get up," Dad said. "David, get up now," Dad ordered. "David, get up now or you will miss the bus," Dad hollered. One can imagine my wake-up routine was not any different than my brother's, but my room was on the main floor. My dad did not get as much exercise when waking me up in the morning. These days, I still struggle to get up and move in the morning. I guess old habits are hard to break. My hope is I will figure out a morning wake-up routine that works for me. Okay, so I feel like I have some information in there that really identifies who the main character is, what the character hopes to achieve, what my problem is. So the main character is the narrator, it's me. The narrator wants to wake up in the morning without pressing snooze numerous times. The narrator struggles to wake up immediately, but I don't know where the story is taking place quite yet. So I'm going to keep reading. Fast forward to 2021. "Buzz, buzz, buzz. Is it time to get up?" I groaned. I just fell asleep. It can't be 4:55 a.m. While I snuggle deeper into my blankets, I attempt to convince myself to roll out of bed. If I get up now, I can watch television all by myself. I will have the remote control to myself and can choose my Netflix show. Riley always takes charge of the Netflix remote and watches Fuller House. One can only handle Fuller House for a short period of time. So this is my chance. Get up now and I can watch whatever I want for 30 minutes. So thinking about setting, I'm inferring that this is taking place at home and that I'm most likely in a bedroom. I didn't come out and say that, but one can assume that. So now I'm looking for the rising action. What is the character doing to solve the problem? So I will keep reading. I can wake up now, I whispered to myself, but I would rather sleep. I was tired of my annoying habit of pressing snooze 18 times. I began to throw my covers off so I could attempt to get out of bed. I am ready to get up and start my day. I admired Dean for always waking up the moment his alarm chirps. I wasn't going to oversleep today. Unfortunately, old habits are hard to break. I roll over and pull the pillow back over my head for 5 extra minutes of restful slumber. Buzz, 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 buzz. My hand fumbles across the nightstand in order to locate my alarm. Stop buzzing. You're going to wake the whole house up. Where are you, alarm? Where are you? I obsessively pound on my Fitbit until it turns off. Get up, I mutter under my breath. I begin to throw back the blankets and realize the crisp morning air is too cold. The struggle is real. Do I keep sleeping or get up? However, the comfort of my snuggly blankets won, and I decided 5 more minutes of sleep was my priority. Within seconds, I returned to dreamland. 5:00 a.m. Buzz, 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 buzz. Okay, Kim, this is your chance. While contemplating the strenuous task of getting out of bed, I snag my Fitbit and shut off the alarm. I peek my nose out from under the covers and quickly retreat as if I am a turtle hiding in my shell. 5 more minutes of sleep won't hurt anything. I am not ready to leave my comfy island of coziness. 5:05 a.m. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The alarm clock yelled at me to get up. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Tap, tap, tap. I'm up. Wiggling my way out from under the blankets, I gently place my feet on the ground. Get moving, get moving, get moving. I silently murmur to myself. As if in slow motion, I shuffle my way down the hall and tiptoe down the stairs. All right. So I feel like the rising action. I was trying to get up and then I ended up back asleep. And then I was trying to get up again and I was going back to sleep. I was trying to solve the problem, but it wasn't working. And so essentially, I'm trying to motivate myself with thoughts of drinking coffee, watching TV, petting my dog. Unfortunately, sleep always wins during the rising action. And this is creating that tension in the story. I'm trying to achieve the goal, but it's not working. So then next comes the climax of the story. And this is the turning point where I finally make that decision to get up. And it's right about here. Follow me, Denali, I whisper. She quickly hops off the bed and trots down the hall and down the stairs. Darkness surrounds me, so my fingertips brush the handrail as I follow Denali safely to the bottom of the stairs. I hear the inviting noise of the coffee maker. Coffee, I whisper. Gurgle, gurgle, pop, gurgle, gurgle, pop. And so here I finally do get up and I slowly get my day started and I get my coffee. My dog is following me down the steps and I'm getting started. So now the last little bit is the falling action and the resolution, that I need to make sure that I have the falling action and the resolution. So my favorite time of the morning, pouring freshly brewed coffee into my favorite mug. This is why I try to get up on time. Within 5 minutes, I'm watching American Housewife and am cozied up with a steamy cup of hot coffee. I am determined to figure out why waking up in the morning is so difficult. Multiple alarms do not help me pop out of bed. The mental pep talk is worthless, even though I put forth significant effort to wake up on time. I continue to sleep past my alarm. I realize my morning routine is not perfect, but it is good enough. So I didn't have my theme in there at the end. And so I want to make sure I have my theme in there because I have to share that realization. I realize I will always struggle with waking up in the morning, but the narrator's comforted knowing that a routine is not perfect, but it is good enough. And sharing that life lesson that's so important for any and all readers to be able to understand after reading this text. So what I did was I reread my text, and as I reread my text, I filled in the plot structure chart. Now, for me, this worked out really, really well. However, if when I was working on this, I ended up with a portion of the chart that was blank, then I would need to go back to my narrative and work on filling in the portion of my chart that's blank. So, for example, the rising action was missing from my narrative, and I wasn't able to identify what the character was doing to solve the problem. Then my goal is to go back to my narrative and weave in the actions, the dialogue that storytell my attempts to wake up in the morning. Because a blank text box on your plot structure chart means that a portion of your narrative is missing. So then I would need to go back and weave in some of the information that story tells how the character is attempting to solve the problem. So now what I'd like you to do is there is a blank plot structure chart here. Your job is to reread your narrative. And then as you reread the narrative, fill in information in regards to the exposition introduction. Who's the main character? What does the character hope to achieve? What is the problem? And where does it take place? The rising action. What is the character doing to solve the problem? Climax. What is the turning point leading to a solution? Falling action and resolution. What are the events leading to the conclusion? And then the lesson learned, the theme in the text. If all of these text boxes are full when you have completed the structure chart, fantastic. If one of these text boxes happens to be blank, then you'll want to go back and work on weaving in more information for the reader to fully understand your narrative and the story that is being told. You can get started.